here, bee. No one needs you and your constant buzzing.
Well, actually, if it wasn't for that bee and other pollinators, you and the rest of the world would be very sad.
Wait, who are you? Where'd you come from?
Well, I'm your local park interpreter, Brian, and I'm here to help.
Well, thanks, Interpreter Brian, but all I need help with is getting bees to go away so I can eat my apple in peace.
Well, as I was saying, a lot would be missing without bees.
Wait, what? Where'd my apple go?
Exactly. There would be no fruits, seeds, or grains for us to eat if it wasn't for pollinators.
Okay, I'll bite. What's a pollinator, and what does that have anything to do with my missing apple?
Well, I'm so glad you asked. A pollinator is an animal that helps pollinate flowers, big or small. See, an animal like some kinds of insects will visit flowers to collect pollen and or to drink nectar. As they go from flower to feed themselves, they spread the pollen around. Doing this pollinates the flowers and allows them to be able to make fruits and seeds. Your apple, for instance, was once part of a flower. If a pollinator never came around to pollinate it, the flower would never have turned into that crisp, juicy apple you know today.
So you mean I wouldn't be able to eat things like Saskatoons, raspberries, or even hazelnuts if a pollinating insect didn't come along to pollinate those flowers?
Bingo! That's why flowers have so many different cool colors and shapes, so they can be a bright beacon to get as many different kinds of pollinators to come to them.
Different kind of pollinators?
Yeah, let me show you.
Whoa! How'd we get here?
Don't worry about that. Here, look at these flowers. Many different insects are attracted to different kinds of flowers and in turn will pollinate them.
So we're talking more than just bees?
Of course. In Alberta, the many different kinds of pollinators include butterflies, flower beetles, hoverflies, bees, mosquitoes, hummingbirds, and more.
Neato. I didn't know one flower could have so much life.
You bet. The best places to look are in sunny areas with little to no wind. But even on a cloudy day, you can still usually find something at a flower. In fact, today is a perfect day to go searching. Let's go!
Oh, that sounds fun and all, but I don't know.
Well, what's wrong?
Well, I'm a bit scared of bees. How can I search for flowers if there might be a bee in one?
Sometimes things in nature do seem a bit scary, but there are always ways to watch and get closer, and things are actually perfectly safe. Here, let me show you. Near some flowers, I want to figure out first what is actually in those flowers. Sometimes what looks like a bee isn't actually a bee. Some insects like bees, wasps, and hoverflies can sometimes look the same by having the same colors. However, if you look closer, you can see that flies always have large round eyes and really tiny antennae, while bees and wasps have longer antennae and have small crescent-shaped eyes. Most bees you'll see have fuzzy hair on them, while most wasps never have hair.
So this one is a hoverfly with big eyes?
That's right, and hoverflies cannot bite or sting, so they are totally harmless.
But what if I find a bee? Should I run away?
No, you don't need to. Bees are more interested in flowers than people. Now, of course, if you have an allergy, you should probably watch their busy life from a distance, but you can still find them really cool.
Well, I don't have any allergies. So how can I get closer without getting stung?
Here, I'll show you how to get close. As I said, bees are really interested in flowers, way more than anything else. Oh, look, there's one now. Now, as you get closer to the bee, you have to go slow. And don't worry if they start to fly around you. Bees always use the sun and large objects near them to figure out where they are. If the sun gets blocked out or a large object near them suddenly moves like you, the bee gets very confused and has to fly around the object to put a new map of where they are in their head before going back to the flowers.
So it's like the GPS in your car when you go somewhere and it has to recalculate to find out where you are? That's really neat. But I've had bees follow me before. What's that about?
Well, if you stay put after you confuse a bee, the bee quickly figures out where it is and goes back to the flowers. But if you keep moving, you keep confusing the bee and it has to go around the object, aka you, again and again to recalibrate its own inside GPS. The more the object moves, the more the bee has to make circles around it to figure out where it is.
So bees aren't attacking me when they circle me? They're just trying to figure out where they are?
Yep.
Cool!
This time, I'm going to move very slowly, making sure not to block out the sun. And that way I can get very close to the bee. Now, bees are only going to try and sting you if they feel like they are being attacked by something. Now you try.
Okay, so I'm going slow and not blocking out the sun, and I'm getting close to a flower. Wow, I've never been so close to bees before. I can even see the pollen on their legs.
Great, now that you know what to do, you can use that same way to get close to any insect.
That was fun. It was so cool looking at bees. But I noticed that some were big, round, and fuzzy, and others were not.
We have many different species of bees here in Alberta of all different shapes and sizes. Now, of course, the ones that we know the best are going to be the honeybees and the bumblebees. The European honeybee is imported originally from Europe and usually flies in from local beekeepers. They have colonies of hundreds to thousands of bees in a single colony. Bumblebees are the round, fuzzier ones. All the bumblebee species we have are native to Canada. They nest their colony in the ground with usually only around 30 to 40 bees per colony or less.
Bumblebees are so cute. They're like little teddy bears with wings. But I've heard some bumblebees are in trouble. Is that true?
Yeah, many species of bumblebees are in decline. There are many different causes that make it difficult for them to find the right kinds of food, avoid pesticides and parasites. Then they find it hard to bounce back when they have such a small colony already. The non-native honeybees can also be a huge competitor for bumblebees by taking the pollen and nectar that bumblebees need.
Aw, that's too bad. How can I help native bees in Alberta?
I'm glad you asked. You can help bumblebees by planting native flowers to Alberta. If you don't know what kinds of flowers to plant, be sure to ask your local nature center or park interpreter for suggestions. Or if you're not sure, then at least try and plant flowers that are not going to spread their seeds outside your garden. You can also get great ideas by searching online for the Alberta Native Bee Council.
Well, thank you for teaching me about bees and other pollinating animals. From beetles to butterflies, the world just wouldn't be the same without them.
Well, thank you for coming on this adventure with me. Be sure to tell all your friends and family about everything that you've learned and seen here today.
I sure will. I'll even teach people how to look at insects and flowers. Whoa! Hey, guess what? Hello?